Why Lionel Messi is Argentina's biggest problem in 2026. The entire world is ready for Lionel Messi's glorious final act. The media is already writing the fairy tale ending, predicting back-to-back World Cup trophies for the greatest player of all time. But here at Elite Pitch Analytics, we do not deal in fairy tales, we deal in the brutal, uncomfortable truth, and the truth is, Lionel Messi is the exact reason Argentina is going to crash out of the 2026 World Cup. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are stripping away the nostalgia, ignoring the romance, and looking strictly at the cold, hard tactical math. If you want to understand why the defending champions are walking into a trap of their own making, you need to understand the fundamental shift in how the 2026 World Cup is designed, and why carrying a 38-year-old forward is a mathematical death sentence in modern knockout football. Let us start with the tournament structure itself. Because this is the variable everyone is ignoring, the 2026 World Cup is a logistical and physical nightmare. We are moving from a 32-team tournament to a massive 48-team format. That means an extra knockout round, the round of 32. To win this tournament, a team must survive 8 matches instead of 7. But it is not just the extra 90 minutes of football, it is where that football is being played. Qatar was played in a bubble, teams stayed in the same hotels, trained at the same facilities, and traveled no more than an hour by bus to any stadium. Was the most physically forgiving World Cup in history. 2026 is the exact opposite. Matches are spread across the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Teams will be crossing multiple time zones, enduring brutal summer heat in places like Texas and Miami, and spending countless hours on airplanes. It is an absolute grueling marathon, and right in the middle of this physical gauntlet, Lionel Scaloni is preparing to anchor his entire tactical system around a player who physically cannot press. We all know the Messi paradox. Out of possession, he walks, he scans, he conserves energy for those explosive moments of genius. In 2022, Scaloni solved this problem beautifully. He built a rabid, hyper-aggressive midfield engine consisting of Rodrigo de Paul, Enzo Fernandez, and Alexis Mac Allister. Their entire job out of possession was to run themselves into the ground. Covering their own zones and the massive defensive void left by Messi, they essentially played a high-intensity 10 versus 11. When the opponent had the ball, it worked in Qatar, but time is undefeated, and the tactical landscape has evolved. By the summer of 2026, Rodrigo de Paul will be 32, the miles on the legs of that Argentine midfield have compounded. You cannot ask a midfield trio to pay the Messi tax, covering an extra 10 kilometers of ground per game. In an 8-game tournament that requires constant international flights and brutal climate shifts, physiologically, human muscles cannot recover fast enough. What happens when that midfield engine fatigues? The structure collapses. Let us look at the tactical board. Modern international football is dominated by intense, compact European pressing structures. Teams like Spain, Germany, or even a restructured England under Thomas Tuchel, build their entire philosophy on overwhelming the center of the pitch. When Argentina loses the ball and sets up in their defensive block, Messi's lack of defensive engagement means the opposition center-backs have completely uncontested time on the ball. Without pressure on the first pass, opponents will easily bypass Argentina's forward line and instantly create a numerical overload against the Argentine midfield. Enzo Fernandez and Mac Allister will be stretched to their absolute breaking points. They will be dragged out of position, leaving massive gaps between the midfield and defensive lines. In 2022, they had the fresh legs to close those gaps. In a 2026 quarterfinal, after a month of flying across North America, those legs will be gone. European teams will exploit those half spaces relentlessly. Furthermore, we have to talk about the MLS factor. We cannot ignore the reality of club football. Before Qatar, Messi was playing for Paris Saint-Germain, competing in the UEFA Champions League against the elite tactical minds of Europe. He was sharp, and his muscle memory was tuned to the highest possible frequency of the sport. Heading into 2026, Messi has spent years in Major League Soccer. While it is a growing league, it fundamentally lacks the suffocating tactical rigor, the defensive organization, and the raw speed of elite European football. When you spend years playing in a lower intensity environment, the shock to the system when facing a prime French or German national team is severe. You cannot simulate the speed of a World Cup semi-final in Miami. This leaves Lionel Scaloni with an impossible dilemma. He is a pragmatic manager, he understands pitch geometry and physical loading better than anyone. He knows that fielding a 38-year-old walking forward compromises the structural integrity of his team, but can you bench a god? Can you drop the man who gave your nation its third star? If Scaloni starts Messi, he sacrifices defensive solidity and guarantees his midfield will be overrun by the quarterfinals, but if he benches him, it becomes a global media circus, a national scandal that fractures the dressing room before a ball is even kicked. It is a no-win scenario. The very player who elevated Argentina to the summit of world football is now the anchor that will drag them down. Football is a ruthless, unforgiving sport. It does not care about your legacy, it does not care about romance, and it certainly does not care about fairy tales. You need 11 players working in absolute unison, suffering together out of possession. To survive the modern World Cup, Argentina is walking into 2026 holding on to the ghost of 2022, and when the tactical reality of a relentless, exhausting North American tournament sets in, the collapse will be shocking to everyone, except to those who actually looked at the data. Let us know down in the comments if you think Scaloni will have the nerve to use Messi purely as a super sub, or if loyalty will cost Argentina the tournament, and as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button to Elite Pitch Analytics for the most unapologetic, data-driven football breakdowns on YouTube. We will see you on the next one.